Where did this myth come from?
This myth has been around for a really long time, ever since the boiling of water and the man's capability to use fire. Now, people have been trying to do this to speed up the process because of the humanistic tendency to be extremely needy and responsive to times that they have to wait. To start this experiment, we believed that adding 1/10 of salt, or 1/10 of a tablespoon of salt to water would have no effect on the water's boiling point.
To test this, we designed a comprehensive experiment testing the boiling point of both distilled and tap waters.
We decided to go around the school and ask a few people what they thought about this issue.
So, do you think that putting salt in water before you boil it will help it go faster?
Although I've heard that a lot, I don't think it has really any effect.
So, Mrs. Graft, do you think that putting salt in your water before you boil it will help it go faster?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I don't know enough about the chemical makeup of salt, but I don't think there's anything in it that would increase the boiling.
I think that it will boil more quickly, but at a lower temperature.
I have tried this many times, putting salt in water before I boil it. It does nothing.
I believe it will.
Good
I
to
believe it will.
I don't know, man. I don't really cook.
Sure.
No.
So we had to start our experiment somewhere, but we were unsure of whether to start with distilled or tap water, so we decided to do both. Cody, explain our procedures and experiment briefly.
Well, we took 2 hot plates, and we put 2 beakers of 100 milliliters of tap water on one, and 2 beakers of 100 milliliters of distilled water on the other.
Per beaker, correct. And then we also added 1/10 of a tablespoon of salt to each one of the 2 beakers. So we had a beaker with salt and a beaker with simply water. Now, this allowed for us to have a control of either distilled and salt water that added to the overall effect of our experiment. Also, we used our Lager Pro equipment and used the graphing utility available on this and graphed the water over time to see which one actually reaches boiling point first. I'm excited to see this experiment. Here's a couple clips, and we'll be giving you important news updates throughout them at critical moments of our experiment. Thank you.
Oh, alright, see right there. Number 2's going high.
Yeah, if you call our teachers, you probably want to do it. I can just get him on to excuse me.
Oh, to conclude, after our experiments had run its course, we found that our hypothesis was incorrect.
Examining the data, we found that putting salt in water did increase the boiling temperature and speed by a small amount. So Cody, is this myth proven?
Yep.
We'll see you next week for 5B Mythbusters.
The home of explosions.